going to talk about pre-development for our project. What I plan to do is have a group project so you see the step-by-step of how to do pre-development, how to do post-development. So in week 3, what I've done, and you can see it's got a DWG file. This is the project off of 1007 Votah Road in Apopka, Florida. The people were kind enough to give me their contour and data, so we're going to take a look at this. And currently, this is what the site looks like. If you open up the drawing, you'll be able to get this file. So we'll be using that file, and we'll be using my file that I designed in subdivision class. So we're going to use this one as a practice, and I might give you all another one so you can do it on your own. But we'll do a pre-development together, a post-development together. We'll do the whole thing together, and then you'll do it once on your own. So I'm going to show you the steps to get there. Now, you also have, I'm going to list what data is required for the project, but I haven't got that set up yet, so it might look a little different when you get to Blackboard. I did want to show you the project that we're working on is actually in the St. Johns River Water Management District. Okay, it's in Apopka, which is in Orange County's jurisdiction. So the big thing we're going to talk about today is where we get the data to start designing. So we're going to focus on pre-development today, and if we get to post-development, that would be great. But we're going to start with pre-development. Now, I want to show you St. Johns River Water Management District. So you have 2 people that you have to design by. Remember, the whole point of this is how much water is coming off of our site, okay, in pre-development standards and existing conditions. Now, St. Johns River Waterman District, so the hyperlink that I'm sending to you is the e-permitting. It used to be turn in hard copy papers, but now you can turn in digital plans. If you scroll down here, and it might be different in years to come, but right now we're going to be working with the handbooks, forms, and fees. When you go here, if you ever need an actual hard copy, the environmental resource permit is what we permit. The environmental resource permit says, okay, what are you doing on this property that you need to change? And when you change it, you have to look at pre-development versus post-development. They have rules and regulations that require you to treat the water that comes off your site. So if you have our site is, for example, let me go to AutoCAD. This is the drawing of the pre-development here, okay? Now there's a cool little function in Civil 3D that you can actually change and turn aerial map on. But you do have to have a Autodesk an account, and they'll make me sign in. And mine is My Valencia. If I could type today. Once it does that, it allows me to use their online Bing maps. So I can actually get an aerial of what the site looks like. It's really nice and handy when we start to design. As long as our project is referenced in the right projection and the location, this works great. If it doesn't, then you'll have to move it. So you can see on our site, it's basically a forested or a wooded area. There's a house. There's a track. All of this is dirt. The only thing that's on here that isn't grass is the house itself. That's the only true impervious we have, because this road right here is actually a dirt road, okay? Unless it becomes compacted, it doesn't turn, we don't count it as impervious. So we remember what pervious is. When water hits pervious ground, it goes down into the ground. It percolates, it infiltrates. If it hits asphalt, concrete, rooftops, slides right off, right? So it doesn't go into the ground. So when we're looking in pre-development conditions, we have to take into consideration what does it look like now, okay? So this is our site. So going back to permitting, if we take a look at St. Johns River Water Management District, Document 2 has all the permitting requirements. Storm designs. Remember we talked about frequency, how often a storm occurs. So we're going to be designing based on their requirements. So you have to look that information up. What I've done is I've actually opened, well, we're going to do it here. I'm going to open up document 2. And document 2, volume 2 is for all your design requirements. Okay? So I'm going to save this to my desktop. And the reason I'm saving it to the desktop, I'm going to open up as a PDF because it actually has bookmarks on it. You can't use the bookmarks when it opens it up this way. So let me close that down. I got a lot of stuff open today. Open it up as Adobe. Now, all of this discussion is about how I'm going to design. So we have to think about all these different points. So today we're looking at pre-development and post-development, okay? So we know what we're going for. We're going from something that was open wooded area to something that is residential with streets and a pond and some open space in it. So in the pre-development, we have to take a look at the location, whose jurisdiction. So we know that it's Orange County and St. Johns River Water Management District for the storm. Now for sewer and actual potable water or potable water, it's going to be the city of Apopka, and we'll discuss that later. The drainage area. Now, when we're talking about the drainage area of a project, I don't care if there's 4 different outlet points. You know how we said there's a point of analysis? That's the lowest point of the site and everything discharges. This project actually has 3 points of analysis. It goes 3 different directions. But when you're designing and you're permitting, they don't care. They want an overall runoff. Now, this is only 5.47 acres. So it's pretty small compared to hundreds of acres. If it was hundreds of acres, those 3 points would matter. We would have to actually look at those for the discharge. But when we know that we're only going to discharge, let me go back to this picture, if we know we're only going to discharge in one location, I don't care how many basins we have. It's going to be accumulated. We have to account for all of the water, okay? If there was another pond up here, then yeah, we would have 2 points of discharge, and we would have to assume that the basins are being split up on a site. I had a project that was 1,300 acres, and it had 3 different points of discharge that I can think of off the top of my head. So I had to design depending on how much was discharging where. But here's the thing, cumulative, it doesn't matter. You don't put off more than what you had going to that point. So if only, you know, whatever was coming to the one, that's all that comes off to the other. Okay? Now, for the pre-development, we're going to take a look at also our land cover. We said it was wooded with 1 single family. The soils type, we'll look that up also. The curve number, what curve number? Remember, the curve number has to do with the soil type, the hydrologic soil group, and what type of land covers on it, wooded, residential, and then we'll calculate our time of concentration. From there, we're going to solve for the volume that we have, and we'll do peak discharge. All right? So we're going to pause here, and then we're going to go over each of those steps.